Let's start with a hard truth. Not all women are angels. Not all love is pure, and not all attention is affection. In the world we live in, there are women who use tactics, subtle, emotional, manipulative tactics, not always out of malice, but often out of instinct, survival, or ego. And the men who fall for them are the ones who never saw them coming, because these tactics don't show up with red flags. They come wrapped in softness, in smiles, in seduction, in sweetness. But beneath all of it is a test, a power game, a quiet question she's always asking. Can this man hold his frame, or will he break? And most men, they break because they're not grounded. They don't know who they are. They crave approval more than they respect truth. But not you. Not after this video. Because today, we're exposing the top 3 female tactics that break weak men, and how Stoic man not only survives them, but flips the game. Let's dive in. Tactic 1, hot and cold, the emotional roller coaster. She's sweet one day, cold the next. She texts you good morning, then vanishes for 2 days. She tells you how much you mean to her, then suddenly says, I need space. It's confusing. It's frustrating. And if you're not careful, it's devastating. This tactic is called hot and cold, and it's one of the oldest emotional weapons in the game. Because here's what it does. It conditions weak men to chase validation like a drug. When she's warm, you feel amazing. When she's cold, you feel worthless. And so you start obsessing, trying to get back to the warmth. But that's the trap. She's now in control. She knows she can keep you on the hook with just a little bit of affection every few days. This is not love. It's psychological conditioning. So what does the Stoic man do? He doesn't chase the heat. He doesn't beg for the warmth. He recognizes the pattern and detaches. He understands this fundamental truth. Her inconsistency is not a reflection of my worth. It's a reflection of her chaos. And when she goes cold, he doesn't flinch, he doesn't text 7 times, he doesn't overanalyze, he simply lives. In purpose, in presence, in peace. And that calm, that lack of reaction, that complete absence of emotional neediness, it disrupts the entire game, because now she's not in control. He is. Tactic 2. Weaponized vulnerability. The guilt trap. She tells you, I've been hurt before. I just need time. My ex was so toxic. I'm still healing. I'm not ready to commit, but I don't want to lose you either. And suddenly you feel responsible. You want to help, to prove you're different, to show her what a good man looks like. You suppress your needs, you lower your standards, you accept crumbs because you don't want to trigger her. You don't want to seem insensitive. You want to protect her from pain. But here's what just happened. She put you in an emotional prison and handed you the keys, made of guilt. This is what we call weaponized vulnerability. Now hear me carefully. Vulnerability itself is not a bad thing. True, emotional openness is powerful. But when it's used as a shield against accountability, or as a sword to cut your standards down, it becomes a tactic, a way to keep you emotionally hostage while she avoids growing, deciding, or respecting you. And weak men, they stay trapped for months, sometimes years, trying to earn love from someone who is only offering guilt. But the Stoic man, he sees through the performance. He doesn't confuse pain with permission. He holds space for her story, yes, but he does not sacrifice his principles just because someone else suffered. He understands. Your wounds are not my weight. Your healing, it is not my job. And he walks away if respect is not returned. Because compassion without boundaries becomes self-destruction. And Stoicism is about protecting peace, not saving people who don't want to be saved. Tactic 3. Manufactured drama. The control loop. It starts small. She gets upset you didn't reply fast enough. She brings up your past. She accuses you of changing. Then, it escalates. She storms out, blocks you, threatens to leave, cries, screams, vanishes. And just as you start to detach, she pulls you back in. I didn't mean it. I was just emotional. I love you too much. It scares me. And the weak man, he walks right back into the drama loop. Because now he believes her chaos is love. He believes his peace must be earned. He believes he's the problem. But here's the truth. Drama is not love. It's a control tactic. It's designed to disorient, to make you question your own reality, to train you to tiptoe around her moods, to make her emotions the center of your world. And if you fall into this, you lose your frame, you lose your power, you lose your identity. But the Stoic man, he doesn't engage, he doesn't match her volume, he doesn't fight to explain himself, he doesn't play the emotional ping pong. He simply says, "This isn't healthy. Let me know when we can talk like adults." And he walks, not out of arrogance, but out of self-respect, because a man who values peace will never wrestle for attention. He knows chaos doesn't prove love. Calm does. The common thread behind these tactics. Here's what all three tactics have in common. They target weakness. They exploit insecurity, neediness, approval, seeking. A lack of boundaries, emotional overinvestment. In other words, they break boys, pretending to be men, because those boys will do anything to be liked, be chosen, be needed, be loved at any cost. But Stoic men, they don't beg for validation. They don't sacrifice their peace. They don't twist their soul to fit someone else's chaos. They live by this code. If it costs me my peace, it's too expensive. And when they feel the manipulation, they don't react, they observe. They respond with clarity, and when needed, they walk away with quiet strength, not to hurt her, but to protect themselves. Because Stoicism is not passivity, it's power, mastered. So, why do some women use these tactics? Here's the truth, not all women do, but the ones who do aren't always evil. Many are unhealed, insecure, addicted to attention, following toxic social scripts, copying behavior they've seen work on other weak men. Other words, they're using tactics because they're scared of authentic intimacy. They don't know how to connect with a grounded man, so they try to control him instead. But when that doesn't work, when you stay calm, composed, and centered, they either rise to your level or fall out of your life. Either way, you win, because you've shown them what a real man looks like. Not reactive, not emotional, not desperate, but grounded. Wise. Stoic. Let's recap the three female tactics that break. Weak men are hot and cold, emotional bait to hook insecure minds, weaponized vulnerability, guilt traps disguised as openness, manufactured drama, loops of chaos that keep you walking on eggshells. But the Stoic man, he breaks the pattern because he knows who he is. He doesn't chase moods, he doesn't fear rejection, he doesn't tolerate games. He lives by virtue, not emotion, by discipline, not drama, by clarity, not confusion. And that kind of man can't be broken, only chosen. If you found value in this video, share it with a brother who's been through emotional war zones and needs to remember his power. And remember, stay grounded, speak truth,